Garten of Banban. I was looking for games for my eShop Dumpster series, where I see if a game is worth the small price I paid for it. This title was requested a few times in the past, and looking at the screenshots, it looked like a horror exploration game. I ran a poll on X and people overwhelmingly wanted me to review this. I was very surprised to see this game has a cult following, and there are at least 7 of these things. The game is broken up into rooms of a kindergarten, and you have to solve a small puzzle in each area. And I was kind of getting into it when it just ended. I thought I did something wrong. But other than finding optional objectives, nothing changed. I looked at my timer and it was almost 30 minutes. I have no issue spoiling this game because this title is free normally on Steam. They should have done this as well for this release. Or how about making this a demo for the second game? That way they don't charge us for a 30-minute game. The story is about our character, who's looking into the disappearance of some children at a kindergarten. You start the game in a locked room, which makes me wonder, how did they get in this room in the first place? Since this game apparently has a lot of lore and backstory, I'm gonna assume this is explained in the other games. The rooms are locked down with keycards, which you can find all over the location. I grabbed one on the desk and I unlocked a storeroom where you find a drone. But you need to find batteries first. I don't know why the batteries weren't next to the drone, but I found them in the lunchroom. And I found out you use this drone to smash into the huge buttons on the wall. The second a drone hits the wall, or a button, this thing should have been in pieces. I kind of wish it had a health gauge. It would have put a little bit of suspense in these sections, so it made it so you couldn't mess up too much. But no, this thing is invulnerable. Also, why did they put these huge buttons on the wall? That seems incredibly inconvenient. How does the staff push these buttons? Brooms? Who set this thing up? If a lightweight drone can push this button, then for sure some kid could chuck something at it to push it. Chairs and tables will go flying for no reason. They will also just randomly spin on their own, which I'm pretty sure is not on purpose. You have to go to the play area and find 6 eggs, and feed it to a statue. And I actually think that's kind of clever. I can see this working in real life as a fun game for children. But you know what I can't see happening? A play area next to a bottomless pit. But to be fair, it is blocked off by 2 plywood planks, which you need to find a crowbar to get them off. So that would stop anyone from getting past it. I mean, there's no way some kid could get under that huge gap. It was at this point I kind of knew what happened to all these kids. This insane pit of death. How on earth did they explain this to the police? Look, officer, I put up 2 whole planks. There's no way these kids could have gone this way. They would have to slightly duck their head under the wood. There's no need to look in there. It also has a skinny chairlift that you need to ride to get to the other side. What the is this room? It was only while editing this video that I saw a sign by the door that actually calls this a ball pit, and I couldn't believe it. For one, it's way too deep to be a ball pit. Secondly, it would be too dangerous, and I also didn't see any way back up. Also, what was that chairlift for? Why not just have a permanent walkway on each of the sides of the room? I call bull that this is a ball pit. Even that sign looks a little sketchy. When you get to the other side, you have to push buttons in order to change the color to the right color of the mascot. So if you're colorblind, I guess you're out of luck. But even not being colorblind, it still wasn't clear. I went back to the lobby to see all the mascots' colors, and I took a picture of it and I came back. However, some of the colors kind of look the same, and I was struggling a little bit on this. When you've solved this puzzle, you find a key card. After that, a bird mascot shows up, and you have to push a button to make a walkway appear. Then you have to run away from it and make the walkway retract, and then it falls to its doom. After that, you have to use a key card in order to get an office. Then you have to push a few more buttons, and then a huge lift appears in the room? What? Why? I guess after having this area with a huge hole in it, any sense of realism has gone out the window. You go down the lift and you're attacked by a huge creature, and you might think you might have to use your drone to fight it off. But no, that would just make sense narratively. The game just ends at this point. It was just so abrupt. As you're going through the game, you're going to find a few notes from the kids. Plus, there are special things to find if you don't go right to the end. But did those things explain what was going on? No, not even a little. Garten of Banban had potential. There isn't any real drive to move to the next room other than finding something to do. Except when it came to the Pit of Doom, this felt like a well-designed game kindergarten that was realistic. After that, it felt like the creator just kind of gave up on good level design. Now this is normally $1.99, and I would say wait for it to go on a big sale. At least half the price. Honestly, this should have been just a free demo like it was on Steam, as a way of getting you to try out its world. The next one in the series is $4.99, and I'm not sure I want to take the risk that it's not just more of the same. Just an interesting setting, random roaming about, and an abrupt ending. You can tell me if you want me to try another one, but for this game, I would say wait for it to go on sale.